And I think maybe tonight with this little presentation, I think for the first time, everybody's really going to understand how this thing fills. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is this filling process of what's going to happen as people join StopLightGO. So again, when having fun meets making money, I always love that. All right. And now I'm kind of talking to those of you that are coming into this company that have come from the networking world, which probably most of the founders right now, and most of you that are on this call tonight, have probably been in networking for a long, long time. And if you've been in networking for a long, long time, you've been exposed to different types of compensation plans. There's not too many out there that are very, have ever really worked. You have, obviously a stair-step breakaway, companies like Herbalife use and Amway. You have, the binaries that most companies use today. You have the matrix, of course, makes it some companies use today. And all of them are pretty similar. But that's not what's happening here at StopLightGO. And so I thought it was real important to share maybe for the first time in detail what actually happens and how this thing fills versus anything else that's ever been out there. I mean, people talk, well, I like binaries because I get to get on a power leg. Well, wonderful for you, but what about the rest of the world that's not on a power leg? They still got to go out and build. And the reality is so do you too. And there's no help. There's really no help because that inside leg you got to build in a binary, you got to build it. And the people you put in, they're not on binary, they're not on a power leg, so they got to build it themselves. And this is where it all starts to fall apart. Same thing with stair-step breakaways. I mean, I designed the very first one. It's still, you're kind of on your own. When I say on your own, you really just have your team, what you start with and what you're building. So for example, let's use this example here. This is a typical force matrix. What really made me think about putting this together was a few days ago, somebody told me, well, yeah, I see what you're doing here. It's basically a force matrix. And they're going, not really, because here's a force matrix. And if you've ever been in one, this is the way it works. And this is a 3x. So it could be a 3x7 force matrix, a 3x10. That was, it just goes by 3. It could be 2x12. It doesn't matter. It's so wide and it goes so deep, right? Well, obviously, ours is our 10 racing circuits is a 3x10. So it grows by 3 through basically 10 levels. So what we're showing you here is a typical force matrix. So let's say, for example, you're the guy in red. All right. And you join any company that's using a force matrix and they tell you, well, you know what, this is going to be great because you're going to get spilled. You're going to get all these people helping you. Well, here's the reality. In a force matrix, if you're that guy in red right there, the only people will ever give you spill is what you're seeing here in green. So for example, if you're in level 4 at the very top of the company's genealogy, as an example, and you got the 4 people above you, I mean, it's a great place to be, but look what happens. Where's the spill? Who can actually give you spill? Just those 3 people. Everybody else is outside of what your team, your direct line. So therefore, the only spill you get is from that person, those 3 above you. And guess what happens? That guy that's, say, in the number 3 position, you might get one person from him, but even he could give it to somebody else. The guy that's one more, chances are you're never going to see anything. If you go one more level, you're probably never going to see any spill at all. And even if you did, it's 3 people. Well, you say, well, that's not bad. At least I get a little spill. Yeah, you do. You do. That's good. And it goes so wide and it builds, so it's not bad. But remember, everybody in blue in this example will never help you one bit. Now, what have we done with StopLightGO? This is the new paradigm. And this is what I keep talking about, that I think when people actually get this, and they're going to, it's like, oh my gosh. So here's what happens here. Unlike a force matrix where you just had those 3 people helping you, and this is, again, a very conservative example because this is, again, only showing it going, 4 levels deep, or we call it racing circuits. You have 10 racing circuits that grows 3x, right? It's 3, 9, 27, 81, and just keeps on going through your 10 races. But here's the difference. Here, everybody that is involved in this company can actually create fill for you. You see, you're that guy in red, but you see the difference, all the green? So when you start looking at this, wait a minute, you mean the people above me can spill into my 10 races? Yes. The people below me can, of course. But all the people beside me? Yes, they do. That's never been done. Never been done. This means that if you're holding one of those top 200 positions. Do you understand what this? It means that before the rest of the world, I don't care how big we get to millions of people, one day in this country, just the first few thousand are going to be filling your 10 races, your 10 levels deep. They have to fill those first. So you're going to get filled. You have to be filled with those top positions. You're going to get filled very quickly. Now, after that, you're going to make your money from the owner side. But the first part of this plan, which is the business side that we share with everybody, this is going to happen to you first, because that means everybody is going to be actually helping you build and fill your 10 races, which is your 3x10. So I think this makes a big difference. And so let me kind of show you an example of putting together. So which one would you prefer? Traditional? If somebody says, well, this is just a force matrix, go, no, because that's a force matrix, the one on top. And if you're sitting there in that particular traditional force matrix and you're that guy in red, I don't think you can put yourself red anywhere you want, you're not getting hardly any spill or spill over, whatever you want to call it. But with this, look at the difference. So which one would you choose? The traditional or this new paradigm we've created where everybody on planet Earth is going to be making sure that as we grow and grow this company that you're successful? Kind of different, right? So now when you take a look at this final slide of the 10 racing circuits and you start looking at, and maybe for the first time this registers and you see, oh, race 1 is 3 drivers, race 2 is 9 drivers. But most people, when they look at those slides, they think, oh yeah, that's my 3 people, because remember, you're only allowed to get 3. That's my 3 people then helping get 3, and then those 9 each getting 3, because you're thinking it's all coming from what I started. No. As a matter of fact, by the time you put in your 3, they could be down there in race 3 or race 4, taking a spot down there. It doesn't matter, because everybody is going to be helping you fill your 10 racing circuits. And once we launch this and people start building, and where's it coming from? It's coming from everybody's waiting list that's more than 3. Because remember, once you put in 3, those go into your 10 racing circuits, right? That's your first 3. But after that, as you get into the owner side of this and you start putting in people, they go all over the place. They go to help everybody else fill their 10 racing circuits, but you don't care because you're getting paid on that. And you could be, and what's great, not you're getting paid on that, every one of them every time you put in somebody from your 4th person on, it's creating another 3x10 you're going to get paid on for life, every month. And it can be anywhere in the world. And so again, what this says is that if you're in the top 200, now again, if the company doesn't grow, we don't have any success, of course not. But how's that going to happen with this? Because number 1, we've got great products. Number 2, we have an automated system. Number 3, people don't have to figure out how to be a salesperson. They just use an automated system and build a waiting list. Number 4, we have this unbelievable compensation plan that feels like this. So that means that if you're in one of those top positions, you got a pretty good chance to getting that $221,430 a month monthly income. A really good chance, because you're not alone, and it's not your team alone. It's everybody on planet Earth as we expand. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be expanding rapidly. We're getting ready to do the grand launch of the Chinese theory. We're actually doing a little testing phase right now, but we're going to combine that. I was talking with one of our top people, Hal Culberson, which, by the way, here's a perfect example. We're talking about the wait list. Remember, after 3, everybody he puts on his wait list has to go to you. I don't care where you're at. It has to go everywhere else, right? He doesn't care because he's going to make a fortune from it. But think about somebody like Hal. He's probably already got 10, 20, 30 people on his waiting list. He'll probably have 100 before the month's out. One day he'll have 1,000. A lot of people are going to do the same thing, because most people don't realize how much money they can make from the owner side by building that waiting list on that 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th person and on. And yet they're going to be helping you guarantee that your 10 races are filled. So that's why this is going to be amazing. It's for the first time ever. Even everybody's got their own benefits of what they do and grow. You're going to have everybody working in cooperation to help make sure you're a success first. Now, once you're a success, what happens after your 10 races are filled? Well, you're done, right? You can't make any more from this. That's the most you can make. Now, obviously, you do get marketplace commissions on top of that. So anybody of these 82,000 people, as they order anything on the marketplace, that's on top of this money you're seeing here. But you can't go any higher than that, unless You go from, green, you become an owner, you continue building a waiting list, and then you start making those overrides on everybody on your waiting list. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Not only are you going to be helping yourself, but you're helping everybody else. And that's it. That's what we have here. Again, this is so unique. I try so hard to stay calm because I realize, wow, if anybody, I look at the people who got to 200 and say, your life's going to change a year from now. You won't even be able to fathom what's going to happen. And it's going to be good. I mean, real good. So, ladies and gentlemen, you basically have, 30 some days left for those top positions? That's it. After that, they're gone. They're gone. And then we're going to set them aside. And it's only those people we have there. And then we start building from that point forward. And everybody can come in and take a normal position in the company. And yet the opportunity is going to be tremendous for them because it's the same thing. But those that sitting at the very top, and everybody knows, everybody's heard the stories. If I could just if only I'd been there at the beginning. If only, I've heard that all my life. And I said, well, why weren't you? Why weren't you there at the beginning? Because probably you had a chance with a lot of companies to be there. You just didn't do anything about it. So here you're at that position and you get a chance to do something about it.